Damn.
Hey guys, it's Jules.
And Joe.
We wanted to come on here and talk to you guys a little bit about macronutrients. We just came from vacation and it came to our attention that not everybody understands macros and why it's beneficial to everybody. We use it on a daily basis. It's now just our lifestyle. Before I was using it to get to show, but you know, this is an everyday thing we can do and helps to keep us healthy and fit. But Joe is now getting certified to be a personal trainer and nutritionist, and he's going to talk to us a little bit more about what macronutrients actually are.
Alright guys, so basically macronutrients boils down to a balance throughout your day. So it's, take for example, a normal 2,000 calorie per day diet that most nutrition facts go off of. It breaks down between your carbs, your proteins, and your fats. So all macros are is kind of revolves around those three topics. And right, so for your weight and your age and your height and your body type, it all comes down to very specific for your body. Now, like Julie's macros are not my macros are not Julie's macros. So they're different for every person. And like I said before, or we said before, like, you know, we're not personal trainers, we're not certified anything right now. This is just reaching out to you guys to like show you how we do it, maybe to our friends and family who are trying to get started. This is how we do ours, and basically it just breaks down to measuring, weighing, how you weigh things is very important too. Getting a food scale like we have here, very inexpensive. Yeah, you can get one from Target, Walmart. And another part of macros is I like to snack, and I know there are plenty of people out there who love to snack, and snacking is fine. That's my downfall. I love to snack, but I have to find meals or snacks that fit into those macros for me. A big thing I like to fall to is protein chips. So Quest chips, they sell them at Walmart and they sell them at Target as well. But yeah, so it is a lifestyle like Julie was saying. It is a dedication, and consistency is your key to unlocking the endless values of macros.
Yes, and you know, we have actually an example of how we kind of go about our day with using our macros. We do have apps that we follow. He likes to use the MyFitnessPal, and I like to use the Lose It app. So there's so many different apps out there to help you balance your macros throughout the day and keep you on track. But as Joe was saying, we do use a food scale, and on our food scale it has a mode, and then it has be able to zero out, and you can use different types of measurements. We use grams and ounces. You can use kilograms, ounces, depending on what you feel best for that type of meal. Like for example, I would normally weigh my meats in grams, but if I were doing some iced coffee, I would normally use that in ounces, or fluid ounces. So it just depends on what you're actually weighing. But as an example, we're looking at nutrition labels in the backside, and if you can see right here on the bottle of soy sauce, it has the nutrition facts. See if this can get kind of, there you go. We go by the serving size. It's 1 tablespoon, and for every tablespoon of the serving, we have a total fat of 0 grams. Total fat of carbs is 1, and 1 protein gram. And we use that to add into our macros for the day, depending on how much we've had. And we would measure this normally throughout a day. So that's how you would measure or keep track of your macros, your carbs, fats. And you have to do that for every food that you do, and for every gram and ounces that you do consume with your body to help keep track.
Yep. And another big part of that, of your macros, is since you're putting your body into such a change of calories, let's say you're trying to lose some weight and you drop your calorie intake, now your body's undergoing a calorie deficit, so therefore your body's going to need water. And water is a huge key to maintaining a consistency, maintaining your body's ability to metabolize that nutrient that's going to your body. So we like, you know, our nutritionists, because we do have nutritionists that we work with, and we get a lot of information from them too, but they strongly recommend a minimum a gallon of water a day as far as your calorie and your body trying to metabolize and consume and work with whatever you're putting in there. So yeah, that's a big part of that.
Yep, and I know a lot of the time that we get so many different sources telling us different things about how to take in foods, when to take in foods, intermittent fasting. There are so many different types of ways to do your foods, and all are accepted as long as you're doing it in a healthy style. We just find macros to be the easiest and most sustainable way for us to do our foods. When you do your macros, every single day is different. So each day you're going to have to hit your macros on point, maybe a little over, maybe just a little under, but hopefully you stay within a few grams of each. For example, my intake for macros is 120 grams of carbs a day, 120 grams of protein, and 45 grams of fats. Now, again, this is all for me, and I just did my show, so I'm just stabilizing within that space until my coach is ready to bump me up so we can start doing gains again and going back into building season. Like Joe said, my macros is not the same as his. What's yours?
So mine is about 175 grams of protein, 230 grams of carbs, and 60 grams of fat. But that's because I am building. That's what my coach is having me do right now.
Yep, and it's interesting to do your macros versus your calories. Considerably that when you do count your macros, you are counting your calories. However, counting calories is not the same as counting macros. All right, you are consuming a certain amount of calories per day, but that does vary. But you want to break down your calories into macronutrients, just because if you were to do 1,000 calories a day, which is not healthy, let's say 2,000 calories a day, right? Which is more sustainable. Yeah. You want to be able to break that up into protein, fats, and carbs. But if you say, hey, I'm going to do 2,000 calories a day, well, maybe 2/4 of that can be, no, 3/4 of that is probably just carbs, and then the rest of that could be a small portion of protein and a tiny little bit of fats. But you need to be able to break that up into a portion that is fit to your body and to your metabolism, that you can actually be able to break it down, because you don't want more than one of the other, and you want it to be balanced out properly for yourself.
Yep. All right, guys, and again, that's really it. Like, as far as the measuring goes, there are some things you want to measure dry, some things you want to measure cooked, and other things you want to measure kind of individualized. But like, for example, right, measuring bananas, peel the banana, measure it in grams. If you're making oatmeal, measure the oatmeal dry, and then don't even really add the water, just measure the oatmeal dry. Making rice, right, make the rice first and then measure the rice after it's cooked.
Yep.
Just kind of like tricks and trades that we've learned over doing our macros over the year.
Yeah.
So it really does help, and it is probably the best way to sustain a diet. Now, I have done the paleo diet before. I'm not talking bad about it, right? There's other, like Julie was saying, there's a whole lot of options out there for losing weight or gaining muscle. But we just found doing macros is a better way to sustain a diet and stick with it. It's,
for us.
Yeah, that's just for us.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that might not be the same. Some people want somebody to tell them what to eat, or you have all these different things set up in front of you, which is totally fine. Me, I go on by the day and just kind of figure out what I'm going to eat. I don't usually plan out my meals, but it works for me, and what works for me might not work for you. But that being said, Joe and I really will advocate for hiring nutritionists. If you're beginning and you find that you're not reaching your goals, or maybe you are, getting to a place that you feel strong, but maybe the nutrition part isn't working well, you know what to do in the gym, whether you're a beginner or even an advanced person, hiring a nutritionist is the best option. You get to learn as you go and figure out how food works for you. But that's basically what, how we started, and continuously still going on with that. And so far it's working.
Yeah.
Yep.
And guys, if you have any questions, please, if you know who we are, right, message us on Instagram or TikTok if you do have a TikTok. Reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer any questions. And again, right, this is just our opinions, mm-hmm. and not really a recommendation to you or advice to you. But we're happy to answer any questions, especially if you're beginning, right?
Yes. All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.